Hi students, welcome in our English lecture and we have chapter 12 Save the Children. It is one of the important chapter Save the Children. This chapter is related with the small that child. Some childs they have to do labor work and some childs are forced to work in a factory in a critical conditions, in some dangerous conditions. Some children they have to work, they are forced to work. Some children are working in a hotel or any restaurant or any shop and they are forced to work. Some children are there, they are begging on the street. Some children sing songs and perform some acts on the road and they learn money. They are forced to do these all things. So here in this chapter we'll talk about a small boy. So how he lost means from his father and he met with one boy and how that boy is that whole that world means whole life changed that we will see. Okay, so first of all we'll see that a boy named Jai, he was traveling in a train with family. With his family, he was traveling. He was going to Mumbai in a train with his family. So he was very excited because there was a time of summer holidays. Summer holidays happen. So all children they are going their relatives' homes. They will spend their vacation there with a lot of joy and enjoyment. So like that, this boy Jai, he was also going to Mumbai at his relative's home, and he was traveling in a train. So he was traveling with his family. So that day, that he sat on a train, and at night time, when all the passengers, including his father and mother, all were sleeping. So at that night time, that boy Jai listened some sound in a train. He was also sleeping like other passengers in a train on the berth. So he listened some sound, so he taken out his small torch and he searched that why the sound happening, who is making this sound. So what happened? He saw a little boy. He saw a little boy trying to sleep on the floor in the train. He saw one little boy was there. He was trying to sleep on the floor in a train between that two berths. Between two berths, that small boy was there. He was trying to sleep. And Jai looked that boy was scared and he was hungry and thirsty. The boy looked very scared and hungry, so that boy, he offered him some biscuits and they started talking. That boy was hungry, so Jai, he has given some biscuits and some food. The boy has returned and then both started talking. So first of all, Jai asked that small boy that what is your name and why are you sleeping on the floor? So that boy said that my name is Santu and I am going to Mumbai. And boy said, I was hungry also. So Joy asked him one question that where is your parents then? So that boy replied, I don't know. Where are my parents? Where are they? I don't know. Don't remember them. Where are they? So Joy surprised at one. What do you mean by you don't know? You don't know your parents? That Joy asked me to that small boy. That boy replied that my father left me on a train while I was sleeping many years ago. So boy said, many years ago, when I and my father both were traveling in a train, so my father left me alone in a train and run away from that train. So he don't know his parents now. So Joy shocked her and he asked her, how could your that father leave you alone in the train? How could your father left you? See, that boy replied, see, I come from very poor family and a small village, and I have three brothers and two sisters. The small boy said, I am from very poor family and I am from small village. I have three brothers and two sisters. So we were very poor and we are not getting enough food to eat. Boy said, we were very poor and we were not getting enough food to eat because we were poor. So one day my father told me that we were going to a big city in search of work so we can earn money and we can feed our family. So I was very excited. The boy said, I was very excited to listen that we'll go in a big city in a train because it was his first journey in a train. So that small boy was excited. So when we left our house, the boy said to Jai, when we left our house, I and my father left our house. My mother cried so much and hugged me, and then I and my father both sat on a train. So in morning, when I woke up, then I see that my father was not there. Means I was all alone. I could not find my father. Means the boy said, I did not get my father. I cried for my father, but my father was not there. I got off the train. The boy said, I got off the train and I searched for my father, looking here and there, but I did not find my father. Night came and I was still alone. I did not find my father, and then I started crying and sat in a corner to hide myself from the station master. The boy said, night time happened, did not find my father. So I sat on one corner of platform and I was crying and I was hiding myself from the station master. Then what happened? Next day, I met another one small boy. He was also working and the boy was selling paper soap on the railway platform. That name of that boy was that Dhruv. Means the name of that boy was Dhruv. What a little sign that Shantu continued that with a little that sign he said his name was Dhruv and he found me and took me. That boy said that little boy who was selling paper soap, he took me with him and and where I saw many children like me, that some children were there that were left, some children run away from their houses. So some of them had got lost and some of them left by their families. Why would a family, why would a family do that to their own child? Joy asked one question to that boy. Why that family doing this thing to their own that child? So that boy Santu replied, there are many reasons why the children are left alone by the families. Many children are there, many of us come from villages. The boy said, many children are there, they come from small villages and poor families. So it is very difficult to feed all the family members. So some children are left alone by the families, means left by their own parents. Some sold their children for money. Some families are there. Some families, they sold their children for money, and some parents are tricked, cheated by someone. That Santu said, I have 8 friends to whom these all things happened. That someone came their house and told their parents about that boy, and they make sure that they will give that nice education, nice home to live, and they took that boy, and later on that boy which means the boy to whom they have taken, they were forced to work in factories or household work or anywhere. They make them work. Means the family was cheated by this kind of person. Some friends were taken by that person and later forced to work them in factories. Santu said these things. 3 of children, they were simply sold by the other employees. Santu says some children are there, they sold by the person to other persons, and some children are left in the train by their families. So in short, they all children they have which were left, and some children were left, some children were cheated by some persons. They have to work hard. Their life happened very dangerous. So Jay asked the question, what happened to them? Asked Jay. A lot of things happened. The children left by the parents, and some children run away from their families. So for that children, no one will come to help them. Many things happen to them. A lot of things happen and bad things happen to them. Some of us, boy Santu replied, some of us are made to sing and dance on the street. A small boy Santu said that some children are forced to sing on the road and dance on the road so they can get money. You can see some children are dancing and singing in the middle of the road, and later on they'll get some money. You can see some children selling some things at a traffic signal. So that work also given to this kind of children. At times, small children get lost. To survive, they join other children. Whenever any small children left alone, so they will join that other children like them, and they will also start working. But what kind of work they can do? Jai asked the question that small children are there, that which kind of work they can do. Santu replied him nicely that a small child is there, so many works are there for small child. Most of them are but illegal. Santu said many works are available for small children, but most of them are illegal. Not legal means he said that when he lost, he started working in a factory. Then later on, he started working in crackers factory. Then some sites are there like sari factories, some construction sites. The children have to work. So it is very dangerous for them to work in this situation. But isn't it dangerous? Judge said it is not dangerous that a small child has to work in a factories or in a site. So that Santu replied that yes, it is very dangerous for us to work, but we are forced to work in this condition. So in this horrible condition, we are forced to work. Sometimes we have to work for long hours also. These are the children's. They have to work for long hours, for 16 hours a day. They have to work. There are times when they are not given fresh food also. Santu said to Jai that children like me, they have to work for 16 hours, long time in a day, and not given fresh food to eat also. And sometimes we have to sleep with a hungry stomach. I hated being punished. I did something wrong, and means the child said, Santu said, if something wrong happened from our side, then definitely we'll get punishment from our owner. Means the child will do wrong work, then definitely that owner of that child will punish them for their wrong work. So now the child said, this all thing we have to do because we are all alone in the world. No one is there to take care for us. And the boy said, there is a law in constitution that small child cannot work, means anyone can't give work to small child, means we can't give work to a small child. So Santu said there is a law against to make small children work, but it is still happening. There is a law, but still this thing happening to us, and nobody cares for us. He finished these things. So Santu that he was very curious, and that Jai asked him question. Well, then what do you eat at night? Jai asked the question to Santu. What do you eat at night? So Santu said, well, it depends on where we stay. Means in which field we work. Our food is depend on that. Suppose I am working at the tea stall, then the owner, definitely the owner will give us leftover food. Means sometime we have to sleep with a hungry stomach, and if we are working at the tea stall, then the owner usually gives us that leftover food. Sometimes we even have to look for food in a garbage. That's time to say sometimes we are not getting food, then we have to search for food in garbage also. We have to seek food from, we have to get food from the garbage also. Then, don't you feel lonely? Joy asked him a question. Don't you feel lonely? With tears in eyes, that boy said, that Santu with tears in his eyes and said that I miss my family very much because I am feeling lonely. I hardly remember that my family because it is long time past. I searched for my family for a long time, but I did not find them. And I remember my mother's last hug, but I searched them, but I did not get them. And I don't know where they live. What are you going to do in Mumbai? Jai asked the question. What are you going to do in Mumbai? So that boy said, Mumbai is a big city and will get any work in Mumbai. When it is cold in Delhi, so many children from Delhi they will go to work at Mumbai. And Santu said, we have that's why I am going to Mumbai, so we'll get work and get work. So now it was time that of morning. So morning was going to happen. So there are millions of children like Shantu. They were working in the factories. So it was time of morning. So Shantu said that Jai's parents were going to wake up and Shantu could be caught. Santu could be caught for traveling without ticket in a train. So anyhow he had to left the place. Santu was traveling in a train without ticket. So anyhow he had to left the train. So he was thrown out of the train. So he had to leave that train anyhow. So before Santu escaped, means run away from the train, Jai gave him some food that he had in his bag and he has given him his favorite toy. His favorite toy that Jai given him. Before that Santu could escape from the train, Jai had given him some food and also given him his favorite toy as a memory, means to remember him by. So then Santu run away from the train because he was caught by he could be caught by the ticket taker. That's why. In a few hours, the whole world of Jai it changed totally, and he was suddenly aware of many things that he had taken for granted, and the whole world of Jai it changed to meet that small boy Santu. So it is a nice story about the save the children. So there are many children like Santu. They are working. We should have to save these all children. Okay, thank you, children. Bye.